Hey, so this is a controversial video because I'm controversial and I don't really give a fuck. So I just posted a status saying that you can safely assume you have created God in your own image if God hates the same people that you do. Now, we've already established that most of these wars and stuff that are going on are religious wars. It's all over their imaginary friend, basically. So we've got all these different, I think, we've got 6 or 7 major religions on this planet, okay? And essentially, they all say that God is everything that exists. God is the all, the one, okay? So if he's the one, yeah, and he's all that exists, and we exist, okay, naturally, we have to be made of God, because there is nothing else to make anything from, because everything that doesn't exist already doesn't exist, and we definitely exist. So we've all got the same one creator, yeah, and there's only one. We don't have multiple gods. People are saying, oh, your God and your God's different to my God. Don't be so arrogant. We've all got the same creator. Like, if you've chosen to adopt the beliefs of a man, of a human, that said that he has a better understanding and a better relationship with our creator than you can have, that's up to you. But that doesn't mean that people that haven't gone along with that are wrong, or people that see a different side of God are wrong. Like, for me personally, I have never been religious. I know God, don't get me wrong. Like, I know God in my heart. I carry God. I walk with God every day, everywhere I go. And I know that for a fact. I was born knowing that. Do you know what I mean? I was never told what to believe. My parents never kind of pushed any belief system on me. I was always allowed to find out myself. I believe God found me when I was 18. And I know what God is. God is love. God is not what the religions have made out that God is. What religions have said God is a blasphemy. That's a lie. They've said God is outside of us. God is this separate entity up in the sky that's going to judge us and punish us if we don't do all these things that these books have said we have to do. Guys, that's bullshit. Like, God is in your heart. God is love, God is truth, and God is light. That's what God is. God is creation, okay? So fear is the opposite, okay? So hate is not the opposite of love. If you imagine that God is the personification of love, and then the devil is the personification of fear. Everyone remembers that word from English class, yeah? When you turn something and make it human-like, yeah? So God is like the personification of love, and then the devil is fear, okay? So they exist in the sense that love and fear are polarities. They definitely exist, but essentially it's not something that's outside of us. They both exist in us. So then we've got in us, our soul is God and our ego is the devil. And you can apply it to everything. So essentially with all religions there's truth in it. And I don't say, oh, religions are bad in any sense, really, because at the root of all of them it's love. Because at the root of all of them is God. And I do agree with that, and I do know that. It's the corruption and the manipulation that comes with it. So if we can all accept that the governments are fucked up, okay, and that they're all controlled, and we know that we've got the Vatican in Rome, which is its own country, we've got the City of London, which is its own country, and then we've got Washington, D.C., which is its own country, separate from the countries that they're in, okay? So we've got the Vatican, which is controlling all beliefs. So we might have the illusion of different religions, but essentially it's all being controlled and it's all manipulated. What's really important now is that people find out who and what God really is, realise and know yourself as God, because we have to be God. We must be made of God, because there is nothing else to make anything from. When people realise our power as God and realise that we are all co-creating this reality, it's not like we've just been dropped here and we're dealing with it. We have created this. We have to take responsibility for this. See what I'm saying? And this is our true power, and this is what they don't want us to realise. They want us to think God is outside of us, and that if we don't do everything they say, because they seem to think they know God so much better than we do, if we don't do what they say, God's going to punish us. That's bullshit. That's a blasphemy. That's a sin. That's a crime against creation. to manipulate people into this fear-based belief system around God, to be fearful of God. Why are you going to be scared of something that's all loving, all knowing, all forgiving? See what I mean? It's ridiculous. But when people have been conditioned from such a young age, God-fearing people, blah, 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 oh, grow up. Like, I have had conversations with lots of different religions. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not against religion. I just think religion is for people that haven't had their own experience of God and actually found out firsthand what God is and who God is and how it works. Because God is the universe. To me, everything that exists is the universe, and it's forever expanding and it keeps on growing, okay? These gods of the Bible and gods of religion, it only accounts for the earth. God only created the earth. So what about the rest of the fucking shit that's out there then? Do you mean, what happened? How did he create Saturn and Uranus and Pluto and all the other solar systems and all the other galaxies? Like, religion is too small for my universe, as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't answer any of the questions that I've got. The closest answers I've found are in quantum physics. And this is literally explaining spirituality now. So we've got science and religion are total opposites. They hate each other. They can't mix at all. Then we've got spirituality and the modern science now, so quantum physics, metaphysics, are actually complementing each other. They're explaining the same thing, that we are all one. There is no separation. This is just a hologram, an illusion. And that's literally what it is. And if we can get to a place where we know this and we can enhance this power and use it to our advantage, we'll start creating something very different. But people, first of all, need to realise our power is in us. We are the power. We are the people. None of this would be happening if it wasn't for us. So we can all say, oh, we can blame them. We're just doing as we're told. That's the fucking problem. Stop doing as you're told and do what feels right. It's not difficult. I mean, it is difficult because it's really scary because you're going to have to step outside the box. I've always been pretty rebellious, so I quite enjoy not doing as I'm told. I get a kind of thrill from it. Unless it's right. Only if it's wrong. Do you know what I mean? I won't do something if it feels wrong, if it goes against what I feel in my heart, because that's where God is, in your heart. And I've been saying this for ages and ages. And the only people that agree with me are scientists. No religious people will really agree with me. Scientists will say, yeah, we're talking about the same thing. Because I come at everything from a very scientific perspective. I don't just accept things based on faith. If it feels right and my intuition's telling me, then I'll go with it. Because as far as I'm concerned, my intuition is my connection with my creator, with source. So I meditate all the time. I haven't been doing it that much recently, but that's what got me out of my depression. Remember I was saying? So I meditated, which is like listening. That's what it is. Praying is talking to God. And people talk and talk and talk to God, but never wait for the answers. If you wait, he will answer you every single time in all different sorts of ways. Sometimes you'll have thoughts come to you and that'll answer your prayers and stuff, all sorts of ways. Do you know what I mean? You might hear a song on the telly that answers it. Something will happen if you wait for the answer. But people don't have the patience. They get all angry at God and take it all out on him, have a good old rant about it, and then think they've got to go to some priest for forgiveness or something. No, like, stop being a child. Take control of your own life, your own beliefs. Find out what you believe in. Pray to God. I'm not saying don't. Do you know what I mean? Do it. Because praying is a state of gratitude, an attitude of gratitude. It's not asking for things. It's being grateful for what you have. And then meditation, you listen to the answers and you get inspiration and motivation, and it's amazing. Like, to actually have a real relationship and a real connection with our creator and with source is one of the most powerful relationships you will ever make. Ever. And I highly recommend that everyone tries to get a real connection rather than doing it through a religion and doing it through other people's experiences of their relationship with God. Because that's all it is. Someone has had their own direct connection and wrote it all down instead of teaching people and saying to people, you have the ability, like everyone, to have your own relationship with God. Do it. Because we've only got one God. I know people say, it's different gods for different religions, but it's not different gods for different religions. It's the one God. So get your head out your ass and go talk to him. Find out what you're supposed to be doing, because he will talk to you. And I know that might sound crazy. People are like, oh, this girl's a fucking nutcase. I don't really give a fuck because I know I'm controversial. I will talk about politics and I will talk about religion, and they're the two topics that people always avoid. But I will talk about it because I don't care, and it needs to be said. Someone needs to say it. You need to wake up. Know your true power. I love you.